So what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the Genesis. That presidents drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money. Quiet storm. Have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still feel me. Kiss the death. Represent that. Three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger. Kiss the death. Represent your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger. Money over my headstone. Here lies getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome since 96. You a shook one, Reeves and know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I mean.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They go play action here on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Handoff comes to Cook, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Second down, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Zebra. Hey, flipper.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And down he'll go at the 25. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth. So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. This is taken at about the 14. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
21. Take out here, lady.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Forced out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
32.
Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense, and you're exactly right. Force their early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
Hey,
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
in danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He'll get it up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They pitch it out to Cook, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A toss to Cook. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, we're good. We're good.
On second down, Cook. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Yellow. Patient.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. After the interception, here's Stafford. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception. On second down, here's Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it. A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Play action now. Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown. Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't, because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he? But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he? No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. A give. This is Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here come the Lions now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, Stafford looking downfield for Jones and got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford on first down. This one complete to Theo Riddick. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. First down at Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And right over here, over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
On the ball, on the ball. Back 58 here, back 58. Give me radar. That's right. 32.
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford, and finding the tight end Wilson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, yeah!
The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Cook. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Single slots. Jahan! Hey! Yellow, ready, in there, yellow. Where's Jahan?
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And take it right on the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On first down, Stafford here. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hey, 22!
Here's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Now he's flushed out right. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. From the gun, Stafford. Now he'll escape to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Oscar!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to make it. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. Spins away. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled, and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can. Put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 11.
Tag 50. Red. What do you got?
Operating from the gun. Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here, as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Stafford on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The 30, past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing is Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They start the drive with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Room to run inside the 40. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.